Low-cost carrier? Business class? Do they fit together? Today we're flying with Virgin Australia in their business class to see whether the price-conscious product is something that can be enjoyed and something that can maybe work back home. Will we find value in this premium product or just find more gooch than your cell phone case? Come along and let's find out. Good morning and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be flying with Virgin Australia from Brisbane up to Cairns in their business class on one of their 737s. This is the first time I'll be flying a business class in Australia, so I'm definitely looking forward to today. I also want to see how it compares to some of the business class products we have back at home. Think Air Canada, WestJet, and Porter. Okay, calling Porter Reserve a business class might be a bit of a stretch, but you get the idea. Also, when I think about the Virgin brand, I think about, good quality at affordable prices. I think I had a Virgin mobile phone back in the days. So we'll see how that translates over to their business class. The flight is set to depart at 11:30 in the morning, so come along as we go from A to B. Let's start by checking in, dropping off the bag, and let's make our way north. One can draw pretty strong parallels between Canada and Australia, but one thing Canada has lacking is a reliable budget carrier. Then again, with the big three airlines having buy onboard menus, multiple pricing levels, I'm not sure there's much difference, and we might just be splitting hairs at this point. But today is all about business class, and we'll see how this budget carrier provides this service. I started by making my way to the baggage drop-off. You won't find too much besides check-in Streetside, so after that, it was a matter of going up the escalator and through security. I do have to say, Brisbane's domestic terminal is becoming one of my favorite to fly out of. Besides the great views outside, there's just such a delicious selection of restaurants, food courts, and cafes throughout the terminal, and it's very tempting to stop at one. However, our mission today is to check out the Virgin Lounge, which is located across from Gate 41. The lounge is quite large, offering a selection of seating options, and finding one with a power outlet isn't a problem. The lounge faces Streetside, so unfortunately, you'll be hard-pressed to find aviation-related views. Another win for those cafes in the terminal. Breakfast items were available, such as cereals, the strawberry chocolate muffins, which were delicious by the way, and a cold well with oatmeal, yogurt, and fruit. Toasties can be easily made with the tomatoes and cheese with the help of the press. Other warm options include the breakfast sausages, and looks like they could use a minute or two more on the griddle, and the baked beans. The highlight of the lounge, I thought, was the coffee bar. Enjoying coffee in Australia is one of my favorite highlights whenever I come here, and this bar doesn't disappoint. Simply place your order from the machine, and the friendly staff will prepare it for you in a few moments. Lovely. The lounge also has showers, and I think this is one area where the budgetness, if I can say that, shows through. No toiletries are provided, just a towel from the front desk. And I didn't see a hairdryer. Not mission critical for me, but I presume it might be for some. Also, when it comes to the shower, it's missing something. Can you guess? There's no door. So you want to make sure you keep your belongings away from the splash zone. And when you're all spick and span, just toss a towel in the hamper and continue on your way. This morning we're departing from Gate 41, conveniently located right across from the lounge. And here's our 737 MAX, which should take us to Cairns.
Thank you.
As we make our way to the plane, I'll take this moment to welcome new viewers to the channel, and I invite you to subscribe for continued aviation and travel related content, where you can check out the economy product on the MAX aircraft on my flight from Cairns to Tokyo. Sadly, they cancelled this route some years ago, and I do miss the Haneda connection. Also, if you're enjoying and watching within the first 7 days, it would be awesome if you could hype the video, which will help the channel's visibility on the platform. The hype feature is available when watching on Apple or Android devices. Many thanks. Today we'll be seated in 2F, the last row of business class. And what's this? A pre-departure bevy in a real glass on a domestic flight? Well done, Virgin Australia. I know some larger carriers still use plastic, and Other carriers don't offer anything in terms of a pre-departure beverage for their domestic business class. Today we're flying on one of Virgin Australia's Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircraft, one of 15 in their fleet. Each is configured with 182 seats over 2 classes with 3 lavatories on board. Our plane is just about 2 years old, being delivered to Virgin Australia in May 2024. It'll take about 2 hours flying north to make our way to Cairns. Once we got up in the air, it was time for lunch. While the meal was being warmed up, I started with a South Coast Pale Ale, which was nice and refreshing. The options for lunch was a mushroom pasta or chicken curry, and I went with the latter. The dish had a flavor profile of a red Thai curry, and at first taste, it brought back memories of the red Thai curry dish I had with WestJet. The curry was accompanied with rice and buttered broccoli. And the tray also had some cheese and crackers. Overall, I thought the meal was spot on with the flavors, and though I felt something was missing, either a small salad or something sweet to end it off. But nonetheless, I was content, and after lunch I turned my attention towards the outstanding views outside. Here's a look at the front lavatory. You won't find any extra creams or sprays, but it is larger than the ones at the rear of the plane, and it has a small countertop for your belongings. The business class has 8 seats in a 2-2 seating configuration over 2 rows, and the aircraft is fitted with Boeing Sky interior lighting, though not so evident since it's daylight outside. The seats are quite comfortable with Virgin branded adjustable headrest. The center console is where you'll find the seat adjustment buttons. There's the seat recline, a leg rest, and a footrest. Is that what it's called? I think that's what we're going to go with. If you do know the name of it, let me know in the comments. The front face of the center console, you'll also find a cocktail tray which pops out. And there's an extra storage space, looks like it could be used for water bottles or something like that. There's also a deep pocket for extra storage, and a power and USB outlet can be found here too. Oh, but what's that? Ugh. Someone called the Gooch Collector stat. This plane is only 2 years old, and it looks like it hasn't been detail cleaned ever. The table pops up from the cleaner opposite side of the seat, and has a built-in device support which folds open. Looking towards the seat back, you'll find a coat hook off to the side, a literature pocket that houses the safety card, and below that is a pocket for personal belongings. Seat pitch is 38 inches, providing ample space. And above you have access to the reading light and air control. Overall, I thought the hard product was very comfortable, not too different from full-service airlines, but routine detailed cleaning is an area of focus. Entertainment is streamed to devices, and it was easy to connect to, and there's a healthy selection to choose from. Internet is not complimentary and costs about $10, so I didn't dabble with this feature. And about 2 hours later, we arrive in a hot and muggy Cairns. So how was that? I thought it was pretty good. The hard product is similar to what we've seen on Air Canada or WestJet's MAX aircraft. The business class being only 8 seats seems a lot more manageable for the one cabin crew assigned to business class, whereas back home you can have up to 16 business class seats. The meal on board was flavorful and much better than the ravioli I had in economy on that Cairns Tokyo flight. But as mentioned, one more item just to tie everything together would work well. The crew member on board did a great job meeting the needs of the guest. In fact, everyone from check-in to the lounge staff deserves some kudos. The lounge was also very enjoyable too, in particular the coffee bar. And not all airlines offer lounge access for their domestic, business, or premium product, and even less have showers. So this is a major selling point. Of course, Virgin Australia is a budget carrier, and this does show through as the finesse, one can argue, of larger carriers just isn't quite there. That being said, it was an enjoyable day and shows you that you can have a reasonable business class product at a reasonable price. And if it can be done in Australia, there's little reason why it can't be replicated in Canada or other countries. The cost of this one-way flight came out to 372 Australian dollars, and I thought that was a great deal. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Virgin Australia's domestic business class product, and I'll catch you in the next video.